The new developer update information has officially been announced, and there's quite some juicy things, so let's take a look at everything. Kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's do a quick recap on everything that is going to be changed in the upcoming PTB. First and foremost, player cards are finally going to be here. You guys know I've been pretty pumped and excited for player cards, and I'm very curious how they were going to incorporate this into the game. Well, they said that it is arrived. Player cards are decorative banners and badges which appear in the top right corner of various menus. Your player card will also be featured in a post-match scoreboard so other players can see them as well. And on screen you can take a look at what exactly this looks like. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this. We see the player card and the little emblem that I'm talking about, and I hope that again this is locked behind some challenges and things like that. According to them, they said this will be coming out with events, Rift, through login rewards and promo codes, so it seems they're taking the more low-key approach, and I can respect that, but hopefully moving in the future we can see some challenges that are incorporated, such as maybe achieving getting to the iridescent ranks, or maybe getting to Prestige 100 and getting certain cards unlocked for those specialty challenges. I think will go quite a long way in showing your dedication. I know there was this big FOMO argument, but to me it makes a lot more sense to have something really cool that you worked hard for. Moving on forward, the Trickster is getting some changes. This is pretty crazy. I don't actually know how this is going to feel in game. A part of me feels that this might be a little bit too strong and Trickster might be quite annoying to play against, but another part of me feels that this is going to go quite good. So to summarize everything that has been changed with the Trickster, his movement speed is now 4.6. This used to be 4.4, so aka 115 instead of 110. The tear radius will be 32 meters instead of 24, obviously because he's moving faster. It will now take 4 blades per second. That's how much he throws. It used to be 3. The Survivor Laceration meter will now be 8 hits. This used to be 6. Survivor Laceration Decay will begin with 10 seconds. This used to be 15. The main event fully charge after 6 blades hits. Kind of crazy. This used to be 30. So main event will now activate so much sooner, and the main event duration is now 5 seconds, and this used to be 10. And probably one of the biggest things about this is that they've completely removed recoil from his shots, so that it will be more skill orientated rather than whatever it is now. There's also a ton of add-on changes. I'll leave them down in the description and on screen so you guys can take a look at them. But this is pretty crazy. The tricks are really getting some good balancing, and I'm quite excited for it. Overall, I think a faster Trickster would be quite good, and having the ability to use your power way more quickly is going to be quite game changing, especially with main event being available much more often. You can just kind of use it at free will. So I'm pretty excited about this. Next on the list is Made for This changes, and this one has been brewing for a very long time. Long story short, you only gain a 3% haste now, and this is only affected when you are in deep wounds. That means if you're just injured, it does nothing. You have to be in the deep wound status effect in order to get this to work. Essentially, this is pretty much GG's for Made for This. Now, certain killers, admittingly, if you're going to play against them, it will be a lot better, but the chances of finding those killers would be a lot lower. Those killers would be, for example, the Legion, the Plague, etc. Anyone that naturally gives you deep wounds, such as the Deathslinger, etc. Made for This will be very good against them. However, killers that don't necessarily do this, it won't be that good. This is a pretty significant nerf. I think we're going to see a lot of people just say, screw it, we're not running Made for This anymore, and we'll see exactly what happens. But now people are gonna have to figure something else to use, and it's gonna be interesting. Next on the list is some Garden of Joy changes. Now, this was officially confirmed in a Q&A that I did with the devs, and now we're seeing what they look like. They said they've turned their attention to the windows of the large house. Previously, there were several strong windows, which granted survivors plenty of distance each time they vaulted, making some chases drag on. They have reviewed the layout of the windows and breakable walls to make the chases in the building more fair. Second, they have rebalanced several pallet loops to bring them closer to the sweet spot where they're both useful for survivors and have potential for the killers to play around with them. They've also cleaned up certain loops and removed some small objects which players might bump into by mistake. And lastly, they have made a few art changes throughout the map to both improve visibility of objects which block your path and introduce small pieces of lore throughout the environment. Next on the list is some red forest changes. This one's pretty exciting. They said first and foremost the size. These two maps, being Mother's Dwelling and Templar Purgation, are some of the largest in the games. This can lead to some gameplay issues, costing the killers lots of time to cross from end to end in search for survivors. They're reducing the sizes of the map to bring them more in line with the rest of the realms. Second, they reviewed various loops and reduced the amount of vegetation surrounding them, making it easier to identify loops at glance. So no more tiny trees and bushes all around. And they said with that, that's pretty much the developer update. So this is quite exciting. We're getting Garden of Joy changes as well as the Red Forest changes, and I'm really looking forward to how these are going to affect gameplay. Overall, this developer update sounds pretty good for November, and I'm looking forward to all of the changes that are going to be introduced. I'm personally most excited for the player cards, as I think this is going to really change the game for the better. Maybe I'll eat my words in the future, we'll see, but I can only see good things happening from this, so I'm pretty excited about that. I know some people might be sad about the made for this changes, and some people might be happy about it. Same with the Trickster. I'm interested to see how it's going to play. So all of this is going to be coming out on a PTB that is planned to start on November the 8th. And remember, this is probably going to come with the new killer as well, so we could probably expect some teasers coming out Friday or Tuesday. Looking forward to that. Keep in mind that this PTB is also happening on a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday, so that's quite interesting. That's pretty much going to do it for me though. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below and subscribe for some more awesome Dead by Daylight content. As always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.